There was this place kind of like a lounge at one side of the corridor, across from the nurse's station. This generally deserted place held a few couches and chairs, as well as a large TV. TV programs commemorating the new year were still being broadcast off the 28-inch screen, and there was a girl who looked absolutely bored watching that absolutely boring TV. Short, in pink pajamas, a white bracelet on her wrist, just like mine, impressively long hair that almost reached down to her hips. Hey, do you find that interesting? There was no deep purpose in their asking, simply I had nothing else to do, so I started talking to her.
別に
Was the only reply to me. But she didn't turn to face me at all. And she kept looking on with burden at that TV as if I didn't even exist. Then, don't watch it. Even as I thought this, I sat down in a chair next to her, and side by side we watched TV. Nothing else to do. Nothing we could do. So we sat there silently and watched TV. New Year celebration programs as per usual, a useless array of comedians and oddities. And every so often, the MC's stupid, shrill laughter resounded really in this white, sun-drenched lounge.
ねえあなた
The girl suddenly started talking to me, but her eyes were as always glued to the TV screen.
あなた何回目
What do you mean by that?
ここに7階に来たの
Sorry, I have no clue what you're talking about.
そう初めてなんだね
So she'd seen my confusion about her question and come to the right conclusion.
じゃあ他に誰もいないし私の役目だから
Duty?
そういうルールなの
Nodding slightly, she explained that the rule was that someone here, 7F, should tell newcomers the truth. I knew nothing. I understood even less. As if I did not even exist, she slowly started her speech.
それじゃあよく聞いてね
Her words, spoken methodically, one by one, were a little different from the ones I've heard from the doctors about this place. In their business-like, crisp syntaxes, they told me this is a place where one waits for medical advances. This is a place where no one heals one's heart, and perhaps they might have been correct in general sense. But according to the girl, there was just a party line. The truth was that this 7F was the only place to the hospital where medical treatments did not take place. This was just a place when you waited for your life to come to an end. Those were the worst. Those were her words to me. I thought so as well. I felt even before she'd spoken.
私2回目だから
Second time doing what?
ここに来るの
And then she explained to me that nobody on 7F stayed fair from initial hospitalization all the way until death. While there was zero possibility of being cured, you were sent home if your condition was stable. But if it worsened again, you would be returned here. That cycle ended only in death. Whether it was at home or here on 7F, always one of the two, you were going to die. No way to escape it, it seemed. And with that meaning permitting her every word, she informed me that this was her second time up here.
じゃあ一度しか言わないからここからはよく
She continued speaking, all the while staring at the blank TV screen. This wasn't idle chit-chat about when lights out was, or where the kitchen was, or anything like that. This was something completely different. The third time you are discharged home, resign yourself. There won't be a fourth time. You will never go home again. If you ever want to escape, head towards the B station, not the A station. Eat nothing. That is the simplest shortcut. You leave the smallest burden on your family that way. It was as if she was packed to the brim with matters like those. This was probably an oral tradition, relevant only to those who were going to die, and kept by those who came here for that purpose. So is this the duty that you were talking about?
ええ、そうよ。いつかあなたも初めて来た人には伝えてね。
With those words, she slowly stood up. She casually tossed her long hair, and it grazed my nose.
じゃあ検温の時間だから。
Then she turned her back and started walking down the corridor. Now completely deserted, save for me. The lounge held only the laughter from the TV and the white flowers by the windowsill. In the end, she didn't even look at me once. A few days later, New Year celebrations were over, and the middle and high school students were beginning a new term. And just as ever, she and I sat down in this lounge, staring blankly at the TV. This is boring,
そうね。
so we said, but both of us keep our eyes on the screen. Kept. Hey, is this place always this way?
質問の意味がわからない。
I'm getting at how it's always deserted. Other than the nurses, doctors, and help staff, other than her, I'd not seen a single person. Did everybody go home for the new year or something?
その理由を知りたいの？
Well, I didn't mean
じゃあ言わない。
we, who disinterestedly tossed back and forth this exchange that could not even be called a conversation. The slight breeze coming from the window that would not open more than 50 centimeters. From time to time, her hair would sway, and as if in agreement, the flowers at the windowsill would too. This is how we kill time day after day, staring at the boring, good-for-nothing TV. Oh, here the two of you are, an elderly nurse said, and she rushed towards us. From what I'd seen of the nurse's station, she was apparently the charge nurse of 7F. Well, Miss Setsumi, any fever?
大丈夫。出てない。
Setsumi. So that was her name. You really shouldn't be moving around like this. Do you understand? Everyone's worried about you.
別にいいよ。
Come on, come now. What kind of answer is that? Oh, children these days. The nurse continued to scold and henpecked for some while longer. And the girl named Satsumi, just pretended not to notice it at all. She simply stared straight forward at that boring TV, paying that fussy nurse a little heed as she could. I'll be coming later to draw some blood, okay? With those words, the charge nurse went back to the nurse's station. Hey, well, mind if I call you Tatsumi? I asked this as I stared at her white vinyl AD bracelet and at the blood type and the name written therein. Is something the matter, Tatsumi?
どうして呼び捨てなの
Huh?
年下のくせに
Hey, why am I younger than you?
別にそう思っただけ
It wasn't that I was offended that she called me younger than her. It was just that no matter how I looked at it, I thought I was 6 years older than she was. That's why I took out my driver's license from my breast pocket and handed it directly to her. See, I may not seem it, but I'm 20.
やっぱり年下よ
I don't really get what you're saying.
どうでもいいじゃない少し上なだけよ
She murmured expressionlessly as ever. Her eyes were fixed on that burning TV, all right, but it also felt as if she was gazing at something far away.